when it comes to their drafting and style. I mean, I feel like, particularly Matuma Man's heroes, it's all over the place.
Taking a page out of Yatoro's TI book, it feels like, in terms of this guy will play anything, whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Potentially even going mid here. He's angling at it. Probably not, but maybe he's not that hipster yet, you know. But I agree, Liquid, we saw Blitz drafting there. That's a switch up for them as well. This team is definitely struggling to find what their groove is at this tournament, trying to build some momentum through this lower bracket. Not the easiest place to do it sometimes, but if you do get rolling, that's where all of a sudden they can gain that confidence very fast. And as you said, BetBoom, this team they're never going to deviate too far away from what they're comfortable and confident with, especially for DeHawk. This guy, he knows what heroes he wants to play. He knows how he wants to play them. It's up to you to show him that they're not as strong as he thinks they are.
Yeah. And also, once again, we're going to be seeing a Mars. I think they've got like an 80% pick rate with Mars or something like that. Like, it's pretty insane. BetBoom just keep on rocking the same old heroes and just seeing if teams can beat it. And maybe that's maybe it's an element of lower expectations. Maybe just going with what they feel like they're good with and just seeing if teams can beat it. Meanwhile, Liquid, obviously, probably heavy expectations on them, particularly when they ended up in that four-way tiebreaker for 3 slots and ended up being the 4th team out there.
From top of the group to lower bracket.
Yeah.
One of the crazier tiebreakers I think I've seen. As well as already some chaos trying to get these lane matchups. It's going to force Zai to make the long trek up top and Boxy even getting zoned off that early XP. Normally the support would soak it, but BetBoom getting some nice early abuse here.
Okay, to be clear, what are the matchups that both sides want to be able to have?
Liquid definitely wants this Bat versus Necro matchup. That is the biggest priority for them.
Okay.
I think whatever else, I mean, you're going to get the others as a response, but that is the biggest thing that they want to have in this early game. Do not want this Lone Druid Bear going up against that Necro in the early phases of this game.
Right.
And at the same time, I feel like a lot of this game, it's going to come down to these mid heroes and what impact they can have as these side lanes progress. I feel like Puck for BetBoom has been one of their go-tos in terms of the initiator, the play action, making up for, maybe not making up, but compounding on this pace that they want to set with the Hawks hero pool.
Yeah.
So I'm really going to look for Laurel to set the tempo of this game. If he can contest the power runes, that's amazing. But even more so, he's the one who can go in and create some of these play opportunities for his Necro and Mars to waddle in the fight and deal out the damage.
And we've been talking about it. It feels like the mid laner is particularly important for both of these teams, as maybe that's the tie between them. Both of them have to get a lot done. DeHawk, he may end up dying here, once again getting very, very low, sub 50 HP, again, off of what seems to be some well-placed arrows from Boxy so far in this lane.
I was about to say, he doesn't have the easiest setups this game, but sometimes that's when Marauders hit the most arrows. Guy just goes zone. He's feeling it. Something to look for.
And it looks like bottom lane's not going super well for BetBoom either. At least the Mars is having a bit of a time struggling with all this harassment. Boxy baiting out a couple more hits before he pops the stick. Turns around, throws the arrow, misses. So Seneko will keep that clarity intact. That'll be nice to have.
We saw the Hawks start with boots on this lane too. This is a player who knows his matchups for his heroes very well. And this is oftentimes when you can turn some of these around that are pretty disadvantageous. Like, if there was a player I had to pick that could maybe get out of this bad Necro matchup, it's probably this guy right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Boxy, actually a little bit of a misstep there. And he'll be fine, but takes a little bit of extra damage unnecessarily. But yeah, like the boots actually saved him twice from dying. Otherwise, he would have been chased down by the sticky napalm play. So,
especially when he's in the offlane.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder. If this was Necro safe lane, you have that tower to protect you on the bat dives, but you can get chased down the length of the lane. Disruptor can help a little bit with that, but not in the early levels. This is a hero that you're pretty much picking for the mid-later portions of the game. Is a very volatile hero, and a lot of times he does not function from a behind position at all. That's the downside of these two supports for BetBoom. It's aggression, right?
Yeah.
And again, that's why so much of it comes down to Laurel in this Puck, I feel. If Noticed has an amazing game, he can pop off, but Grim Disruptor need their cores to be strong out of the laning phase so they can create the aggression, create the openings for these spells to come in.
Trying to get aggressive. Matuma Man, he's going to be hit by the angle. Well, they're going to be able to get the angle for the spear back in, and Insania can do nothing to stop this damage. First blood for Noticed, and they're going to get some good damage on Insania on the way out.
That's exactly what we were just talking about. If these cores can get aggressive, their supports are going to feel really good about it. And I feel like this is another one of these lone druid lanes where Matumba, he's struggling a little bit more than I feel like I'm used to seeing him on this hero. And Pugna, maybe not doing the hero any favors on the lane. Yeah. In the off lane maybe doesn't help either. A little bit of an awkward setup, but definitely not as bad as that other Liquid game, so...
10 stick charges, but Dahak wants to be able to go for the kill. The flame break pushback is going to be enough. He won't be able to close the distance and get a nuke in. That probably would have secured a second kill for BetBoom. All in all, I thought these side lanes were going to go bad for them, considering all the damage they were copping, but they're actually the ones turning things around now. Look at the pressure coming into Zai. Zai is stuck here, and there's nothing they can really do to stop it. Boxy arrow that completely whiffs. Zai actually barely stays alive. Boxy's not going to be able to compete for a kill, though. He is also going to get chased out, and that is a full creep wave of experience lost
this
for
is
Liquid.
Almost worse than dying.
Oh, it is.
Not
In
even
fact,
the first blood.
Looks like maybe 2 lanes, possibly, is Dahak. If he can keep them back enough.
This is what you want to do right here.
Beautiful. Look at that. Couple creeps at least are going to die without anybody being there. Really well done by BetBoom.
This is what I'm saying. They understand these matchups. He's pushing it to the limit here, gaining an advantage out of a lane that Liquid probably wanted more going their way. I mean, Bat isn't some crazy early laner, but in theory, it should be hard to pressure him when he's in his safe lane like this with a ranged support.
Yeah.
That said, I still think this Necro Bat matchup is a lot about the mid game. What items does the Hawk choose to go? Is he going to go more utility to be able to play this matchup? That would be traditionally things like a Greaves or Lotus Orb. Try and rush one of those. Or does he try and play that greedier carry role and go more damage, go more individual item focused, let his Puck and Disruptor try and control this Bat? That's going to be another interesting choice for him this game. We'll see what he ends up doing. He's already queuing up Hood, so might just choose to try and go that tanky route, let their spells do the damage until they get into that later portion.
Stani has been sitting around that mid lane for like the last 45 seconds, and it does secure Mikke an Arcane Rune. So first power rune of the game, and he's going to make a move with it. He's going to go up to top lane. They're also trying to get aggressive bottom at the same time. Let's stick with top lane. Dahak glimpse back. Mikke doesn't actually dodge it, but it doesn't matter. They get the kill anyway. The puck is counter-rotated, so they do get the Bat Rider a coil kill. So trading out cores.
That was an Arcane for Storm, though. Hard to tell if he got the XP before being glimpsed, but this is Catapult top. And this tower is taking a huge amount of damage.
Yeah. Boxy does manage to slip an arrow past Aneko and gets the Catapult out of the way, but it's still a lot of damage as Laurel has continued to stick around. Zai, oh no, he didn't wait long enough! He was hiding in the trees for a bit, but he counted wrong. Only counted to 3 seconds instead of 5. He gets glimpsed back to base. They're going to make a play now for bottom with the little bit more mana that Stormford has. But once again, Laurel is here. Nice. Decrepify, really well timed there. But the puck is on the other side of things. He's hunting Mikke right now. Mikke's just got a little bit of mana to deal with, but the raindrop does not save him from that orb. Laurel gets the kill anyway.
And Laurel putting on a show in this early game, matching Mikke's moves here. This is exactly the type of game he wants. Let the Storm commit. He gets to respond. That's the power of this Puck-Storm matchup. He always has Coil waiting in the wings. BetBoom's going to be pretty happy if they can shut down some of this early Storm aggression, get their Puck going. Because again, he's going to enable their supports a lot, and their supports need the enabling.
Yeah.
Saneko, he's already up to level 5.
Yeah, interesting that Necrophos has chosen to just start playing jungle. He's going to stack for himself and let Saneko get the levels. Very interesting. Coil.
Rune battle.
Inkswell stun.
DD for the Puck here.
Pretty easy kill, potentially in the Puck nut. There it is. Stroke of Fate finishes him off.
There's a Reaper.
He's got to be careful. The Reaper scythe comes in with double damage from Laurel, and that's enough to get the kill. Saves Force Major's life, and the tips start coming out too. BetBoom, they're getting away with this laning phase, and they're feeling very good about themselves, I'm sure.
Part of this is Boxy feels pressure to stay top because of what happened in that lane. Zai getting glimpsed to base, he's pulling waves. This is normally where Liquid would love to bring both their supports to help with that rune fight. Just getting outnumbered with the Necro rotation as well. Not one you would expect, but insane value for the Hawk off the back of that play. And of course, the Rune of Destiny doing a decent amount of work there.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, it's interesting to see, like, as you said, that they switched things up and they had Blitz, the one actually hitting the buttons for the drafting. But to be honest, even if they do fix the drafting, it seems like there are some play elements still need to be solved here for Team Liquid. As they're going to be losing their mid tower here, most assuredly. Would like to be able to just commit for that one. Laurel makes sure it doesn't overextend himself. Once again, the Glimpse back. They do have the Storm Spirit here to be able to catch up. Seneco's still not level 6, so won't be able to save himself from Mickey's aggression. Still, though, a 5 position for a mid tower. I'd say that's fair.
Take that every game of the week right there.
Yeah.
This is also time. It's more time spent from Zai, who, whenever he has to respond on this bat, it's going to slow him down a lot. He's low level. His early game was kind of gimped. This is not the ideal flow you want for this type of hero. He benefits a lot from being able to either stay in a lane, get super high level very fast, or if he joins these fights, he needs the kills off them in order to get to that fast bots or drum, whatever his first item chooses to go.
Yeah.
I'm a bit worried he's going to fall too far behind here.
Especially if he was to die to rotation from notice, but fortunately Zai does notice him and gets away with a flame break. But it's still a move that BetBoom is looking like they're going to be able to secure another tower here, just locking down this area. Yeah, you can see Zai is falling behind.
All right, Cap, I got to talk about something right now.
Yeah?
The Hawks item choice this game.
Okay, what's he queuing up right now?
This is you get a Reddit thread one way or the other. This is not an item that we see almost at all anymore after the changes to how the damage ticks.
Yeah.
Especially in a game where they already took the tier 1s.
Yeah.
It makes me think, how good is this hammer really going to be versus multiple mobility heroes? I mean, 3, right? Storm, Bat, Mirana.
Yes. Uh-huh.
I mean, there's a fight going on, but the Meteor Hammer is still on my mind.
It looks like they're going to be able to commit for the Storm Spirit kill, as he's just not going to be able to get out in time, and they still can potentially chase down Insania as well. Zai does manage to get himself a solo kill onto Notice.
There's a glimpse here.
Yep, he's going to be able to glimpse him back into the puck with the Inkswell there as well. Very easy 2 kills for BetBoom, offsetting the death of the Mars near top. But yeah, very interesting indeed. Do you feel like, is this an adjustment overall that like BetBoom feel like they're not closing out games fast enough, and that's why they're now in the lower bracket?
I mean, maybe this is some new tech, I don't know, but I feel like it's just a grief item, to be honest. Normally, I try, you always understand where people are coming from, but this item is extremely volatile. When I say that,
yeah,
it's maybe the one item in the game where you have to get impact off. It is not some crazy stat item. It is not, there's not alternatives where you could get mana regen or some more tankiness. You're choosing this item over progressing to something like a Boots of Travel that would help you farm or a Lotus Orb that would help you fight.
All right, hear
Hard
me
for
out.
me to see the idea, but maybe, again, this guy understands his heroes right now.
Oh, he tried to hit him with a surprise arrow, but Laurel was super ready for that. As you said, no setup for these arrows. Nice. Used to the Inkswell and gets the silence off. So Zai, in his attempt to try and get a lasso, is maybe going to overextend himself.
Nice.
They're going to lay it out the arena. That's going to be able to catch the Bat Rider and the Pugna here. Mickey still wants to be able to commit to this fight. Static Storm immediately going out, protecting them, and actually catches Boxy as he tried to leap in. Now tries to go for the leap out. Denies the Invis rune before he's going to go down. Spitefully indeed. 3 dead on the side of Liquid as they just seemingly can find no ground in this game against BetBoom. I am honestly shocked that the net worth is as close as it is, because it feels like it's BetBoom all day.
Part of it is these Radiant supports are just innately going to be poor as the hero design, but this can start to pick up pretty fast. As this puck gets more and more levels, he can play more aggressively. These are fights Matumba's not joining. It's also just a numbers thing, right? Liquid keeps getting caught in these 2-on-3s on the river, 4-on-5s in mid. A lot of those early power rooms and ganks went the puck way, not the storm way.
Yeah.
That means he can enable some of these support spells on the backside of those fights. Just so much gunk Mickey has to jump into.
Also, let's not forget this Meteor Hammer will start speeding up to Hawk's farm as well.
Exactly. You can start pressuring the tier 2, farming some stacks.
Try to catch Mickey. Nice. Blink Spear stun with the Inkswell, layering the stuns very nicely for BetBoom. And these pickoffs just continue to grow. One person who hasn't been touched in a bit here is Matumba Man, the bottom lane. He is in danger, so he's actually going to TP out to the other side of things. All right, hear me out, though. They do have a bunch of circle spells, SVG, all right? Kinetic Field, Static Storm, Arena, Coil. the increased AoE of Meteor Hammer might actually be useful in these fights with all these circle spells. I'm just saying.
I mean, let's hope so. I'll be pleasantly surprised. If his idea is he can land it off a static field, that's some next level play. But
well, that won't save you from this bear. He is totally undeterred. They do manage to get the spear back onto the actual hero. The bear's going to have a couple more feet to hit, but eventually does have to give up on that chase. Liquid did have some heroes in force, as it seems like all of Liquid are going to start grouping up a little bit more to try and match BetBoom. They're going to go for the smoke up. A 3-man smoke up only, as somebody's probably got to show themselves mid. Someone between the Stormtree and the Lone Druid. Somebody's got to show on the map, otherwise BetBoom is going to be playing pretty skittish.
Yeah, they know this mid lane's in super deep here.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of getting this mid-tier 1 down so early. It gives you all the information in the world during a portion where Liquid are trying to get aggressive. Again, though, it's kind of just Zai running, drumming in and lassoing somebody. Not necessarily reliable. There's a glimpse in the wing. At some point, there's going to be this Grimstroke shard as well, which is super powerful this game versus the stacks, versus all these disables. He's rushing it. Force Major knows what his job is. Help his Puck and Mars take those extended fights.
Yeah.
That's going to be the name of the game here from BetBoom as we go later and later. If they can survive these fights, sustain through some of the initial storm and bat jump, they're going to be pretty happy on the back end.
You've described sometimes Grimstroke's shard as a save in some ways, and I feel like Necrophos is probably one of the better heroes to utilize that extra heal, especially in this matchup against like the Bat Rider.
I mean, for sure, if you can save him so you can get that hammer off, that's a huge turnaround, you know? And he did end up going back for the bots. I like this. I think this is a game, especially when you play this hero on 1, you need this item at some point.
Yeah.
So you can play a bit greedier and then still join the fight. This hero doesn't have insanely easy ways to build up some cleave mechanic to farm jungle or something, right? It's based off your spells and how fast you can move between the camps. This is one of the best items on this hero, and it'll allow him to get to this BKB pretty fast. This is the power of the hammer. It'll help you farm a bit faster.
Yeah.
So he's top of the net worth. Decent. I mean, he had a decentish lane stage considering what he was up against, playing in the offlane versus 2 ranged heroes, including a Bat Rider. BetBoom gonna start to hit their stride here. This is the point where they start to win 1 or 2 fights. Might be able to close out the map. Liquid's gonna have to resist the storm here for a little bit.
BetBoom looking for it, not gonna find it. Boxy able to leap away, no glimpse back there. I think it's really interesting how Laurel kind of babysat Dahak when he was farming bottom, and then the rest of the team in 3-man smoked up and Dahak TP's up there. So like everywhere Dahak goes, BetBoom is kind of guiding him in his way around the map, making sure that he doesn't really get ganked.
I mean, this guy's an absolute Chad. Have you seen him, you know?
True.
I'd want to be next to him, too.
Hangs out with the hottest dudes. The orb doesn't actually spot Zai's Bat Rider, so he's able to hold this position.
This is a pretty slow push from BetBoom. They've committed 5 heroes here for almost a minute.
Yeah, and Zai sees that. He's like, okay, I'm going to cut one of these waves real quick. Let's see if he actually gets out, though. He's got to respect the rotations of BetBoom. TP out. Mars is closing the distance, but he will not be able to blink spear in time.
That's 2 more TPs down as well. This is a lot of time wasted here. We're talking about Liquid weathering the storm. This is ideal for them right now. They're just getting to get to their next round of items.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which are really big for them, and I don't feel like BetBoom is getting what they want out of this time period. It's also hard for their lineup to just walk in Roche, for example, and force it. Just the downside of something like a carry Necro.
A Deso, a DD. I wonder if Liquid are going to think about fighting here, if they're, as you say, pretty content. I mean, they've swung the net worth back into dead even in this game. They've managed to trip up BetBoom, and they're chipping away at this tier 2 tower.
They're still up here as 5. This is getting ridiculous. Like, you're giving them time to farm PKPs here. You're giving them the whole map. Liquid even got good vision out. And you're slowly chipping this tower with a Meteor Hammer, but you don't need 5 heroes to do this, right? Feels like they're giving Liquid too much space here, and Liquid wants to fight. This is BKB on Mickey all of a sudden.
3-man smoke up. They've hit their timing. They've hit a really nice window. If they run into the right heroes here. But I'm not sure if they could really do anything about Laurel. They're going to try. Tries to jump him. Really great reaction. The phase shift instantly out. They try and hit him with a fear. Missed out on that one. Laurel gets a small jump away. Hits the coil, but he does die. Ultimately, the Storm Spirit Mickey locks in on him. The Soulbind is actually keeping the two of them in space for a moment, but instant static storm. Mickey, his BKB runs out. A great reaction from Seneko, and they will not be able to out-heal that Reaper's Sight. Still, though, there is Matumba Man with that Desolator, and Zai coming through in the back. He's going to be able to pull the Hawk up to the high ground as a TP arrow stops that one, and he is going to be the victim of an Artur.
I knew that one was coming, but what a fight from Liquid again. Mickey goes down, but that BKB Storm, just immortal, causes so much chaos and forcing them all back. And BetBoom's lineup is not one that acts well when they're forced to retreat like that.
Yeah.
Or you get a cheeky turnaround kill, but that's just free reign for this bat to run in, deal all his DPS. The Mirana, multiple good arrows in this fight. Even with the Mist Roar, just so much physical burst. If this puck ever gets pulled, he is guaranteed dead, it feels like.
Yeah. Then we had this nice reaction from Seneko, but ultimately turning and fighting was never going to be in the favor of BetBoom, especially with Zai finally able to close the distance. I feel like that's the first time in this entire game he's gotten on top of the Necrophos. That's what this counter pick is entirely designed to do.
Yeah, especially if you can cliff him. That helps a little more, too.
It does help a little bit, yeah. And now, all of a sudden, Team Liquid up by 3K. I'm presuming that's the life drain. I bet he just took his hands off the keyboard and just, yes, drain more.
While his target gets reapered into oblivion, you get reapered, you look to your right, see your captain doing that. That's the in real life taunt. That's what it is, you know.
It really is, yeah.
His in-game taunt was on CD, so he's gotta do it for the boys.
All right, 4-man smoke up from BetBoom.
If they can find the Storm before BKB, that's the biggest.
Oh, it'd be super good if they could get the Blink Spear, but he blinked the wrong direction. He went down. Maybe it's the right direction, though, if they can actually catch these two heroes, but he's got nobody behind him. He throws out the spear, but everybody else was stopped dead in their tracks by the Storm Spirit of Mickey. He caught the two backline heroes, and there was nobody to help out poor old Notice.
This game feels like it's getting a little out of control for BetBoom. I'm not sure how they take these fights into what is now 2 BKBs on both of Liquid's big initiators. This Lone Druid, I don't even think they've come close to killing him in any of these engagements, and the Hawk's just getting run down.
They're going to try, but Laurel is here, and Zai's by himself. He does actually have a BKB, so he can commit to this kill. He's going to be able to get it all by him damn self. I feel like BetBoom was doing so good in the first 15 minutes, but they never secured a big lead. They clearly got stalled out.
I think they just had issues deciding how to convert on it. I think the way their lineup functions is they pretty much have to just keep chain killing Storm and Bad for that entire 10 to 25 minute period. Some old school CIS Dota. It can work when you have something like a Disruptor who can constantly chase around and provide you the catch before BKBs. But if you let them get to this timing on even footing, these fights are going to be a nightmare. That's where, I mean, the net worth difference doesn't even matter. The second those BKBs come online.
Yeah, that's true.
Good luck. And again, how do they convert on anything else on the map? Their lineup can't Roche. Can't do tier 2s that well.
There it is. Give them all the health. Give them all the mana, Insania. Well, they're clearly having some fun. I'm sure they feel like they're in the driver's seat in this game. And BetBoom's just left with 1 or 2 options. I mean, we were going back through their matches earlier this morning, and you were talking about, like, if these games ever go much past 30, 35 minutes, it's like all but assured that BetBoom is probably going to be losing.
I think they definitely struggle in these later portions of the game. It's just a function of how they play and how they like to draft, which, you know, everything in Dota is a trade-off, but this is a game that feels like, at this point, if Liquid wants to go late, it's in their driver's seat to do so. I mean, what's going to catch the BKB split push? Ag's puck or something? It's pretty out of the question. And again, they don't even have to do that. They can just take the fight using this Lone Druid on the objectives. Exactly what they're doing, smoking into the triangle here. Yeah, they're cutting through with the Lone Druid pushing in this top lane. The rest of the team cutting across the jungle area. Be really nice if they caught a hero, and they're going to go for Seneko here.
Not the biggest pickup, but it's still something nice to be able to work with, something they can start exerting their influence over this left-hand side of the map. They've already taken the tier 1, and if they can catch more heroes, this is an easy tier 2.
Blood.
Notice, he's going to blink out, but I'm not sure if he can get out. The Eul Scepter into the arrow. BKB is his response. Zai's going to respond with a BKB of his own as the arena goes out, and the tier 2 was already dead. That lone druid cleaned up that tower so quickly.
Probably just straight into Roche here. He's going to clean it up as well.
Just gets from bad to worse here for BetBoom. As you can see the difference. A meteor hammer only resulting in 1,000 building damage for this Necrophos. They really could not exert enough control over the map to stop Liquid from farming, and now they're left in sort of a do-or-die Roshan fight.
BetBoom has to fight this, I think. They cannot give this up.
They're going to have to go in without the arena and just lead out with the Ink Swell with a scare back. Is it going to be good enough? Mickey immediately jumps to the 2 supports in the back lines. A really good Soulbind. Catches the Storm Spirit, but unfortunately he's not slowing down just yet. Managed to get 1 support kill. The Reaper Scythe comes in, but this time the heal is enough to be able to counteract. Storm Spirit, Mickey very healthy, and the rest of BetBoom is limping on a last life here as the Hawk. He's probably going to be dying here, chased down by some heroes. Mickey's going to ensure that Laurel can't get out either. It's going to be a full-on 5-man wipe with nobody lost on Liquid.
Where is the damage come from in this game? And Matumba knows it. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, you see me? I took my hands off the keyboard. That was pretty cool. You wanna micro my hero, Insignia?
Yeah, I mean, for a team that we were setting it up as like whether or not they're feeling good about themselves, how confident they are after losing that tiebreaker, after finding themselves in the lower bracket, after switching up who's doing the drafting and stuff. I'm sure there was a lot of uneasiness, but now that they are handily winning this game and probably not going to be letting go of it anytime soon. They're having a jolly good time as they're going to land the spear onto the lone druid and actually bring him a little bit low, but he's still got 20 magic wand charges. He's still got the Mugna behind him, and now he's going to be able to turn around and start going for Dahak. An arrow from downtown.
That's the
nails Laurel,
right
a perfect target too, and the BetBoom immediately calling GG. Team Liquid.
This was an impossible game, it felt like.